It's train time, starting now, right after this small intro.
In compliance with COPA, this video is not for children under the age of 14. Viewer discretion is advised. Sponsored by Canadian Model Railroad.ca and by donations from patrons like you. Further support provided by miniprint.ca. Make your layout come alive with the 3D creation of miniprint.ca. And now on with the show with your hosts, Peter and Joe.
Train show. Andy, I see you've got a layout here.
A little bit.
Have you been in the hobby for very long?
No, this is really my first layout. I built it just so that I could run some trains here. I mainly collect. I collect overland brass.
Oh, okay.
And they've been sitting in a cabinet for a couple of years now. And I thought to myself, well, I'd really like to play with them sometimes, so this was a perfect opportunity to do so.
Oh, great.
So I just got a little 4x8 and threw some Bachmann click track down, but seems to be running okay.
Now I noticed quite a bit of weathering on your rolling stock and that.
Yeah, I didn't do any of it, so don't compliment me on it. No, I just bought them like that. I've been saying to people I have to put up a sign because everybody keeps saying how nice they look.
Yeah. So you're a newbie.
More or less, yeah.
More or less a newbie, but you've been collecting for a number of years?
Yeah, I came to Megatrain probably back in 17 or 18 and discovered, like I'd had a train set when I was a kid, but it was nothing like what's available now. And once I saw what was available with the digital, the sound, and all of that kind of stuff, then I said, well, this looks like something I might be able to get back into. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them consisted here. They're all the engines are overland brass, and yeah, it's just been interesting trying to get them all to work together.
Have you tried doing any weathering?
No, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm kind of afraid to. But
you got at some point you got to dabble in it.
You definitely. I would definitely like to try my hand at it.
Yes. I know, like myself, I'm in N scale and HO. In CMR, we have a layout out at Joe's place.
Right on.
And it's a fantastic hobby.
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
I've been in it since I was a kid too. So.
Oh, right on.
Oh yeah. I started off with tin plates.
Tin plate.
My dad.
Oh wow.
But this is really good. We thank you for this short little spot.
You're quite welcome.
We wish you all the best in the future in your modeling endeavors.
Thank you very much.
At the Megatrain show in Winnipeg. I see you've got a lot of rolling stock and stuff. Have you been in the hobby for a long time?
Was in the hobby when I was a kid. Kind of got out of it for a while and had getting back into it now. Me and my dad are building a layout. So some of this is a collection, some of it is stuff we've purchased and whatnot. A fair size layout.
You've got some pretty interesting stuff here.
Yeah, some different stuff.
And you're selling all this off?
Yep.
Have you been to shows like this before?
When I was younger,
Yeah.
had been to a couple.
Of course, we haven't had this show for a year now, so
Yeah,
yeah.
this is my first time here at this one. So
We've got all kinds of trucks and stuff as well.
yeah. That's lots of people like to collect them.
Yeah.
I know my dad likes to collect them. He's got them all.
Are you a trucker?
No, well, I
You drove, okay.
Yeah,
I got a board for the
collection.
I've never taken any
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so lots of those.
Yeah.
I had probably 3 times the amount of that, but they seem to be the hot ticket.
Okay. Yeah, you've got quite a collection.
Yeah, like I said, I probably had 3 times that before, but yeah.
Well, you will need them for your layout when you build it, I guess.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch still, so
Kept specifically for that.
yes, kept what he didn't have before, and
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I'd like to thank you for your time, and
yeah, no problem.
You know, it's interesting to see somebody that's going to start building a layout.
Yeah,
Some of us have been doing it for years. So thanks again, and enjoy your time at the Mega Train Show.
Thank you.
Train Show in Winnipeg. And Pat, you're with this IPMS. Can you give us a little blurb on that?
Yes, the International Plastic Molders Society,
Okay.
the Valley Road chapter. It's part of a Canadian International Plastic Molders Society, and also there's an American version of it too.
Okay.
So we're just the one chapter.
So you're not, obviously, you're not trained at all. You're everything else, but?
We do anything plastic. There are,
Okay.
yeah, there's molders that build, from ships, trucks, cars, planes. There's been a couple train molders in the bunch. There's a few that cross over from the train group to us and ship molders to us, and there's a few that mix between.
So how many years have you been involved with this?
Since about 97-ish, roughly.
That's a good long time.
Yeah.
You got a variety of scales here as well, I see.
Yep. Yeah, everything, every scale you can think of, and it's represented somewhere, somehow. Like majority of, armor tanks is 35th scale. Ships are in the 1 to 500, 700 range or smaller.
Yeah.
Trucks are mostly 25th, 1/16 scale. Aircraft 72nd or 48 scale are the most common. And so it's a wide variety.
I gather anybody can join in on.
Oh, anybody.
Anybody.
Anyone, any type of person, whatever. It's open to anybody.
Great. So for our viewers out there, especially in the Winnipeg area, look for IPMS, and happy modeling.
Yeah.
Here
Thanks.
from Tin City.
Tin Sign City.
What exactly do you have here? Obviously, tin sign.
We do tin signs all the way from 1/87th scale up to 12 by 18 inches. They're all UV resistant. Everything we do is dishwasher safe and absolutely permanent. We also do face masks, and we customize. This is our train face mask, one of them. We customize to the customer. We can take their pictures and put it on whatever they want. We also do mugs, water bottles, and at our store in Mulvey Market, which is just south of Confucian Corner in Osborne, we do it all on site. So if anybody wants to come in, order something, they will have it if we can do it within 2 hours. In this case, this is a train show, so everything has to do with trains. We've got train masks, CNCP. We've got train hats.
Thanks to Shirley, and we look forward to seeing more of your stuff.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Here with Godfrey and his family layout.
That's correct.
HO. And in behind us are family members.
James.
James over here, and Thomas here, and his mom and daughter involved as well. Francis and
Jean, that's correct,
Very good. Obviously, parts of the layout are still in progress, like most layouts.
Yes.
But how long have you been working with this?
This layout, about 7 years.
About 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of nice detail, and I like your lighting in your shop.
Yes.
Everybody's involved in some facet.
In some aspect, yes.
And what are you in? Is it DC or DCC?
DCC,
DCC.
running off with the computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're all tied into the computer for running.
Yeah. So you can operate it off your tablet or a phone. So yeah.
That's really good. And obviously, I mean, you guys have spent a lot of time already on scenery and stuff, right? It's nice to see like families working on something like this. Usually it's clubs that work.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're Canadian mainly?
Yeah, there's some British stuff as well.
Oh yes, I see over to the side there you've got some British stuff.
Yes, yeah, because we emigrated from the UK 9 years ago.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So yeah. And the front section of the layout that's all in styrofoam at the moment. That is going to be a British section of the layout.
Oh.
Hence the tunnels for the scenic breaks.
Okay.
Yeah. With British buildings and scenery and.
Over on the other side there, you've got more scenery.
Yep.
Done.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. And how long did you say you've been working at this?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow. I have an N-scale layout at home and I've been working on it forever.
Yeah, I'd hate to think how many thousands of hours have gone into it. So.
Yeah. It's amazing, especially when you get into the detailing and stuff. It's amazing how time can go.
That's correct.
Well, this is wonderful. I really appreciate your time and your family's time.
Thank you.
Which one of the younger guys is the computer with?
Tommy.
Good on you. Okay, thank you very much for
Okay.
your time.
Okay,
and,
thank you for your interest.
And all the best in the future endeavors with your layout. It sounds like you've got a wonderful plan going on.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're here with Maurice, organizer of the Mega Train Show.
Manitoba Mega Train, yes.
Yes. And you and your wife do all the organizing.
Yes, we do.
And how many years have you been doing this now?
This is the 10th year we're doing it, but it's only the 9th show because of COVID last year.
Yes, we missed last year because of COVID, of course. And the train, if it comes by behind us, that's 7.5 inch gauge.
Yeah, it's 7.517 scale.
1/7 scale. Yeah. My brother is in the same scale of Edmonton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's with a bunch of guys up there. And you own the train that they're
Yeah,
running?
it belongs to Vector Garden Train. So it's its own entity with Megatrain. It's part of it. It has its Facebook following and this and that. The little train does.
We've been in this facility now for how many years?
8, this one.
Is it 8?
Yeah.
This was certainly a big upgrade from before.
Well, we ran out of room real quick at the last place and we bit the bullet and booked this one for 5 years. Now we just rebooked it again for 5 years. So we're guaranteed our spot.
Okay. How many vendors are out this year?
This year 42, usually it's between 80 and 100. Because of COVID, we had to push things longer, yeah.
Yeah, understandable. And there's not only trains here, I noticed.
We're trying to get every hobby there is because it's called Manitoba Megatrain Hobbies and Sale. So we got the radio control boat guys, the Lego guys. We got die-cast metal trucks, cars. So there's a good variety of anything you might want.
Yes.
We're trying to get slot cars in here one day, but that's something we're working on.
There's room for improvement all the time.
There's always room for improvement.
This is the train going by in the background.
Yeah, we take care of it, service it, get it ready every year.
Yeah.
So we try have a flawless run.
Flawless. Okay. And what kind of numbers of attendance are you?
Our best year was 3,200. That was like 3-4 years ago. Yeah, but we're adding more all the time, and it's growing.
Yeah.
It's growing. We're utilizing this space. We could actually have a lot more,
Yeah.
but because of COVID, we didn't bring any layouts from other provinces this year. Usually we bring 2 or 3, or sometimes 4. So,
Yeah.
so and we respect by going to there with our layout that we move. I have a G scale layout we set up at other shows.
Okay.
We don't set it up at this show.
Yeah. Just not the province.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I did Saskatoon, Regina, Edmonton. No, not Edmonton. Saskatoon, Regina, and Calgary Super Train. Yes, and I already got the invitation for next year, so I guess they're planning on running.
Good to go.
They're good to go.
Good to go.
Then we're gonna pack them in here like sardines next year if everything's the way we want it to be.
Yeah, and that'll be great because I mean it's loss of a year because of COVID hasn't been good.
No, it's not. It's a big thorn in the side, but we gotta flow with the punches, right?
Yeah, we have to follow the restrictions. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've been coming here for a number of years just even as observers and selling stuff. And there's everything from home layouts to clubs to individuals.
There's home layout, dolls, Barbies. They're all hobbies, different things. Die-cast, miniatures. We have miniature modelers. We have guys who make dioramas. We have N-track or in-track. Wind track. Anyways, they come every year. So, but it changes all the time. Even though it's the same people, it's always different.
Well, I have to congratulate you on the process of putting this on.
Yeah.
It's great to get everybody together like this.
Yeah. It finishes Sunday, and we start again next week. We're organizing the next one. Yeah. Recruiting, all that. So it's.
Thank you very much, Maurice, for your time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We look forward to seeing you in the future, and all the best of luck with future endeavors in Megatrain.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye bye.
And Rob, you are from Calgary?
I live in Edmonton.
Oh, my brother lives in Edmonton too.
Outstanding.
Yeah, wonderful. And you've been modeling yourself in trains or just modeling in general?
Yes, I collect HO scale, modern, CN.
CN, okay.
I'd say modern in the last 30 years or so, I suppose.
Yeah, modern. And you're a weathering guy?
Yes, I'm a full-time weathering artist.
Yes.
Through job loss in 2016, so I had to pivot, as they say.
Yes.
But so far, it's been good.
It's been good?
Yep.
I assume you have customers all over the place.
Everywhere. Yep.
Yeah.
All throughout the United States, Canada, Europe, New Zealand, Australia, everywhere.
Wonderful. It's I haven't got into weathering myself. Done very little, so I know there's quite a bit involved in the process.
It is.
Can you kind of give us a little kind of hint as to some of the process that's involved?
Well, I use professional grade acrylic paint because I was in the Air Force for 27 years, and the whole time I was in the Air Force, I actually would be commissioned to make aviation aircraft paintings for air and ground crew. So depending on the fleet I served on, maybe somebody might want an F-18 or a CP-140 Aurora or a Sea King or a Twin Huey or whatever. So I would make aviation art that you display on your wall out of acrylic paint. And now I use those same acrylic paints. I modify them a little bit to make them a little stickier, and I put those on model trains.
Okay. Now, are you using other mediums besides paint?
Nope. When I started, I used to use a little bit of powder, but now I exclusively use fine art acrylic paint. Yeah, I just alter the viscosity, transparency, etc., and I apply them in layers and go with that.
This is a full-time job, right?
It is a full-time job, whether I like it or not.
Well, I guess if it's a full-time job, it pays the bills, so that's...
Oh yeah, it pays the bills, and it's fun. It doesn't really feel like work. I do it 7 days a week, and I have some pretty long hours to make ends meet, but I enjoy it quite a bit. So, and my wife is a believer, which is even bigger.
Wow.
She's now a believer that it can actually be done. Yeah.
Very good, very good. And, I mean, you get into something like this, and you have a clientele, but I gather from the way you feel about it, it's not really a job.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
It's what do they say? If you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life.
I would say that's a pretty fair assessment. Yeah. I really enjoy when people send me locomotives or rolling stock for particularly heavy weathering jobs. So, I've spent the last year or so trying to hone my skills on making rust streaks and rust spots and things like that. Fading freight cars and locomotive cabs. I've done a lot of the scale trains, war bonnet dash 9s, and I'm preparing to do some Athearn 4-window CN-9s for myself and other people as well. So I think it's going to be a good year ahead.
Good. COVID, in that sense, may not have affected you in that way?
I was afraid it might, but it actually went the other way because people were pretty much trapped in the basement, so they decided I'm going to go ahead and send some trains out for weathering. Yeah, I hear from a lot of guys that have followed me for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and they've recently said it's time for me to get into weathering. I'm layout's done. I want to weather some trains. So
that's kind of my thing too. Is I'm busy doing layouts and haven't got to the weathering. I weather my buildings and stuff as I go along.
Well, I think it's the next natural step. If you're weathering buildings already, that rolling stock and locomotives would naturally come along. If you want to make them look a lot more realistic, then they need a little bit of dirt because you don't often see a very clean locomotive or freight car on a real railroad. That's about it, yeah. And anybody can do it. I mean, it's not that difficult. You can start out small. You can use pan pastels and matte media and go with that.
Good point. How do people get in touch with you?
There's various methods. I have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/weathermytrains. Some people lately have been contacting me through Instagram, which is #weathermytrains. That's WEATHERMYTREINS. And also through my website, which is weathermytrains.com. So you can contact me there and ask for a quote, or I've got my prices right there on the website.
Oh, great. Absolutely great. Being here, you're just operating the train, or are you here?
At the show here, no, I'm just operating the Megatrain for Maurice. Yep. So drove down from Edmonton on Thursday and stayed overnight in Brandon, and then we're here today running the train pretty much full time, other than a bathroom break or an interview break or a bit of a lunch break. But I'll be running the train pretty much for the rest of the day. And I like to ham it up for the kids. Like to amp them up a little bit. They're excited. They're in line. I got to give them something to wait for, right? So that's what we do. It's a little silly, but it's all for kids. I haven't forgotten how exciting it is to be small and to be thrilled by something like this that only comes once a year. So, you gotta bring out your inner child, your inner 4 or 5 year old, and get down to their level and amp them up and make them happy.
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, and our viewing audience will be able to get in touch with you on your website or
Outstanding.
whatever. So thanks again.
My pleasure.
I guess maybe we might see you in Calgary.
Yes, in fact, this week I got an email from the Jim Ironside, the organizer of Super Train for 2022 in Calgary at the Genesis Center.
Yep.
And I've answered in the affirmative that as of this moment that my wife and I, Christina, do plan to attend Super Train 2022.
So you'll have a booth there.
I expect to have a booth there with weathered items for sale and display for sure. Yep,
Okay.
That is the plan.
Great. Good.
All right.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Same here, Peter. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of the
I will.
weekend.
I'm having a blast. I just love it. I love having the kids around, and I ham it up with them, and they're having a great time. And I like to make them giggle.
Good.
Thanks very much, Peter.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Train show in Winnipeg, and his table of mostly HO. How long have you been in the hobby run?
I've been into HO ever since my great-grandfather got me President's Choice, the Camelback train set back when I was about 7, 8 years old for Christmas one year.
And you started off like most of us.
You betcha.
I see a wide range of HO that you're out here for sale. N scale as well.
Yeah, I'm in the process of switching from HO to N and doing a little bit of fine-tuning on where I want direction I want to go with N scale right now. So that's why a little of it is for sale right now.
I understand that because I have HO and N scale.
Right on.
I also see that you've got some Lionel low scale.
Yeah, my grandfather, brand new, had his 3-rail Lionel set. And I bought a new engine to go with it. I haven't gone through and cleaned his original engines yet, so I bought one to go with it that I found at a show, and then I got a second engine that's CN, so that we'll get rid of the Southern Pacific and stick with the CN. You know, Canadian guy, we can't have the American running around too much up here.
You've got some very nice pieces.
Well, thank you.
You've done the weathering and stuff on the car?
No, the weathering was all done by a very good friend of mine, Adrian Nygaard, in BC, when I lived out there.
Best of all that you're doing.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Progress at N scale. I'm at N scale.
Right on.
Thank you for this little piece of time.
Hey, not a problem.
And enjoy the rest of the Mega Train show.
I will do that. Thank you so much.
Okay, you take care.
You betcha, Peter.
Winnipeg with Raymond from Winfax. And I know you from years back.
Yeah, for sure.
We're standing in front of your lighted scenery here. Can you just kind of give us a brief run-through as to what's involved?
Well, it's a strip of buildings, which is one kit. And what we've done on some of the different LEDs incorporated, there's a Rexall Drugs, there's a barber shop, and there's a restaurant and cafe and a hotel. And the theater is all done with chase lights, which incorporated 72 holes combined with fiber optic lighting and a control module which controls the sequence of the lighting of the bulbs. And then lighted street lamps, etc., etc. It's a fun thing to do with lighting.
Yes.
And there's so many options and things that you can put on modules now on model trains. It's just incredible.
I'm doing that myself.
I know it's never ending.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has Wintrax been going?
Myself and 3 other guys started up this club back in 1986. I'm the remaining original member. Some of the other folks have gotten either much older and are just out of the business, and a couple of guys are relocated within Canada, so we don't see or hear from them much anymore.
I actually saw Louis Lenz.
He was here early, yes. He was one of the originals.
Yeah,
But
he was a member of the Celtics too. So.
yeah, he was. But
In fact, years ago we had, when we first started the Celtic Club, we had WinFax come out with some of your modules as a thing to get us started.
that's right. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
But
So, now you used to be at one of the hobby stores in Winnipeg, but now you're located out by the Prairie Dog.
we're actually on the site of the Prairie Dog.
Yeah.
We have a standalone building that we're renting,
Yep.
and it's a 24 foot by 48 foot. We have a completed L-shaped layout in there. We have a portable layout within that as well, and we house our modules, which are paired together when we're not using them. We have a back room for them.
Okay.
But it's a place where we can go have our meetings now. We have a membership of close to 40,
Oh, good.
and we're surviving.
Yeah. Well,
It's been working out well.
you know, with COVID, hobbies like this have kind of blossomed a little bit too, right?
I found that through some of the vendors here that they've noticed a lot of people have re-engaged with the hobby because they've got so much spare time now.
Yeah.
But it's all working out for better.
Well, this is, this has always been a great display here at Mega Train. So you guys have done wonderful work over the years.
Yeah, we're quite happy with what we have, and we also have a lot of other modules that we can, interchange. We don't like to show everything too much.
Well, there's also a space restriction.
That's right. Yeah, we're restricted.
But this is all DCC now, right?
We could, we're running the first two lines, the red and yellow with DC, and we can go with the blue and the green with DCC.
Oh, yeah.
We can interchange any track with DCC.
Okay, yeah.
It's a matter of plugging.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
So we're quite versatile in that end of it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm glad we got a chance to chat with you.
For sure.
And thank you very much for your usual wonderful display. So.
Well, thank you so much.
All the best in the future, and
Yep.
carry on.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks, Raymond.
Okay, guys.
Have a great weekend.
You bet. Take care.
We're at the Mega Train Show with Barbara Lang and her books, The Moonlight Special, and Grand Beach Train era. And you from...
Through the window of a train, yeah.
I have copies of my own that I've watched once and started the second time. But just give us a little rundown on what the books are about.
Okay, well, it came about, Through the Window of a Train came about from my travels on the train with my husband, and from a lack of knowledge of what's out there at the other side of the window, I interviewed people over a series of years and put this together with 30 other authors.
Okay.
Mostly the steam era, so that's what that's all about. And then one of the stories in there was about the Grand Beach train. So I started researching that and produced this one called Memories of the Moonlight Special and the Grand Beach Train Era. So that's concentrating on the east side of the lake. So 60 short stories and 60 images are in Moonlight Special. And it's been very popular because, of course, it's local history. And so I love it when people say, oh, my mum would love that, my dad would love that. And they pick up a book and they sign it and, put their name in it. They just love it.
We were involved in the museum piece of it, Grand Beach cultural.
Yes.
And I was born in Winnipeg Beach growing up, but my mom had a cottage. Her parents had
Oh, yes.
wider stories
Ah.
the Grand Beach side quite in depth. And I found some of the stories really interesting on, how people develop the train.
Yes, that's for sure. Well, a lot of people don't know, and I didn't until I researched, but there was 2 moonlight specials. So CPR started on the west side of the lake with their train line, and then shortly after that, in about 1916, the Canadian Northern, which became CN, completed their line to Victoria Beach. And both sides kind of competed with each other with, they both had the dance halls, and they both had the different, one had the carousel, one had a roller skating rink, blah, blah, blah. So there was a lot of competition in that. But one thing that I was really fortunate in doing, and I realized the urgency of it, was that the memories that people have, unfortunately those people are passing away. So the first-hand memories will be gone very soon. So I was, as I say, very fortunate to be able to talk to people who had experienced it. Yes, and photographs. Like some photographs have never seen the light of day before. So there's 60 short stories and 60 images in Moonlight Special. And in Through the Window of the Train, there's 30 short stories. Yes, the first book came out in 2010, so I've only missed one. And then after that, I've been here every time since. I just love it. So it's the highlight of my year.
Thank you very much, Bart.
Oh, you're welcome, Peter. Awesome to see you.
Selling some of your books.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Bye now.
And Wayne, you got a number of scales from what you tell me.
Yes, I do. I got O scale, HO, G scale, N scale. And my newest one as I brought in is the Christmas train layout.
Is the Christmas train behind us here?
Yes, it is. It's because it's an O scale train set. And I figured this year for Megatrain, I thought I'd bring in a Christmas one because we never had one in the show before. So I think everybody seems to be thoroughly enjoying this layout.
That's good. Have you been coming to Megatrain too?
Yeah, I've been coming about since 2018. 2018, yeah. And then I got into trains. Also the Prairie Dog Central Railway, I'm a member there. Yes, I'm a porter, head detailer, assistant portermaster now. So working my way through that part of it too. So I can put on the full porter outfit too. So, yeah. And then I also have layouts at home in my apartment. All of the Christmas and farm equipment and everything else. So. Yes, I picked those barns up from Prairie Dog. They were in our shop, and I was able to take them home. They were going to throw them out, so I took them home and I did a little detailing to them. So, give it a little farm look. So, and
you also have set up layouts at home.
Yes, I do. I set up all my trains at Christmas time, so the whole front room is all Christmas train layouts. So barely moving there, but it'll be all lit up at Christmas time. So hopefully I can show people what all the fun of Christmas is.
Yeah,
trains and everything. Yes, and I mean with this pandemic, everybody's getting into Christmas villages, and so it just makes everybody feel so much happier.
And so when you set up at home for Christmas,
yeah,
is that all of your scales?
Yeah, I pretty much have everything set up in the front room.
Wow.
So it's a good size apartment, so I got lots of room to set everything up. Set up everything.
Okay.
I mean, they're all on folding legs, so it makes it very easy to put up and move around. Except for one display, you got to pretty much need help to move it around because it's one that stays permanent all year round.
Oh, great. Well, I thank you for your time today.
No, yes, you're more.
Great seeing what you got, and this Christmas display is just right up there. So
yeah,
thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you very much.
We look forward to seeing more of you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
Take care.
Rather well, fairly well. Our museum part of it is completed, and downstairs we have a couple of minor things that we have to do as far as the building itself is concerned, but that'll get done over the winter. The model railroad is up and running. The N scale is not up and running. The day we opened it quit.
Okay.
But that's okay, we're fixing that. And now my help has all disappeared. They're all snowbirds, and they've all disappeared for the winter, so I get to sit there and play trains by myself. But that's okay, I can do that. So we had 6 weeks of open time, and that's not very much. But through the goodness of all of the other COVID-related programs, we've been able to survive, and we will be able to survive until next year, and we will have a full staff and be open from beginning of June till Labor Day. And then anything, oh yeah, and anybody that wants to come off hours, the numbers will be posted outside the museum. Phone one of the 2 numbers there, somebody will come down and show you around. The admission is by donation, which is the way we prefer. If you want to do it and pay cash, it's $5 a head per adult.
So all of your displays now are on the lower level.
That's right.
Your
work area is now on, and the offices are all up on the.
It's all wheelchairs.
It's all handicapped access, including the train room, which is a separate building now, and. The residue of all of that is what you see on the tables here, and we're selling that off so that we can progress further, continue on with what we're trying to do.
Absolutely,
It's a work in progress, as it always is, and well, I have 6 people which do absolutely incredible work, and when they're here, the only problem is that they have a complete dislike of snow.
Okay.
So they leave as soon as there's a threat of snow. But that's good.
Okay. So we hope to pay you a visit again.
Oh, what? And this time we'll make sure that the trains are running before you get there.
Okay. Okay.
Because the last time that you were there, they had decided to shut everything down and do some work on the railroad, and there was no trains running for the whole time that you sat there. People did wonder what you were doing, but oh well.
We identify ourselves better now when we're train watching.
So that's much better. Yeah, good.
Well, we look.
You guys are doing a fantastic job.
We look forward to seeing the museum again and doing a follow-up. And we certainly thank you for your time today at the train show.
Oh well,
it's kind of up to date as what's happening.
This is half fun for me. As you probably know, I've been coming to these things for a good long time, and all of these people that I haven't seen for 2 years, I've been going around and talking to everybody, and I'm having as much fun as we are selling. So
well, it's not only a train show; it's a social event.
It certainly is. It certainly is. But it's great time.
Okay, thanks again, Ralph. It's been a pleasure.
It always is.
Look forward to seeing you in the future. I'm here with Gerald at the Mega Train Show in Winnipeg, and I see in front of us we've got some painted figures and stuff. So. Can you kind of lead us in what the process is?
Sure.
My oldest son is into small figurines for online gaming shows. So
I like the bigger stuff because my eyes aren't so good anymore. I did start with gaming miniatures way back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And I just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
What I'm doing a lot of now is buying Hallmark Christmas ornaments and stripping them.
Okay.
And repainting. This is a Hallmark ornament.
Okay.
This is my Mandalorian diorama, Indiana Jones. Those are all stripped and repainted Hallmark ornaments.
Okay. Yeah.
They're pretty cheap compared to buying a resin kit.
Yeah.
And the sculpts are pretty good on most of them, so that's what I'm doing now. Some things, this is a 3D print I got. It's Gandalf.
Oh, yes.
From Lord of the Rings.
Right.
I bought that off eBay. That's a resin kit as well, the Chewbacca. I just buy all kinds of things like that, whatever catches my eye.
Okay. I see off to the side here you've got a resin pond and stuff, eh?
Right, yeah, this is the base for the Luke Skywalker. So it's built up out of foam.
Yeah.
I got plastic on the outside, acrylic gel with sand and different kinds of little roots and stuff in to make the ground look interesting, and then just stuff scattered on top.
Yep.
The tree I made out of a stick in my backyard. I've got a huge bin of interesting sticks, which my wife doesn't like, but I love that bin.
Yeah.
The roots is just wire with epoxy putty over and painted, and then these are all little roots pulled out of the flower bed and stuff.
Oh, great,
for
great.
vines.
Yeah, wonderful.
Looks great. Cheap. It's just time to dig it out of the ground, and it looks really, really good.
Well, I know on our HO layout that we work on, we use goldenrod to make deciduous trees. And you go and harvest it by the bagful, and then...
I've got to try that. I've got a sedum bush in my front flower bed, and I pull stuff off of that every fall.
Yarrow is another good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, cheap. It just grows.
Cheap, yeah.
Pull it off. I get more than I need. So.
The only thing that we found with goldenrod is that you have to use an oil-based spray at first to seal it.
Right.
Otherwise, it will crumble.
Okay.
So we usually use a green oil-based enamel spray at first, and then from there you do all of your
whatever you want after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one here too is Tarzan.
Okay.
So that's a root ball from my backyard with a couple other sticks spliced in, and I've got photo etched fern plants, photo etched grass, some plastic, cheap plastic plants from Amazon repainted. The gorilla is a vending machine figure.
Okay.
The Tarzan is a 3D print that I ordered again, but it was like kind of like a bald mannequin, and what does that mean? Oh, okay. I sculpted the hair and the loincloth onto it, and then it's got Spanish moss for the vines and what have you on there. And I'm actually getting to like doing the kind of groundwork and landscaping is almost more fun than painting at this point.
Yeah.
I kind of have to force myself to get started on the painting.
Well, I can understand that. I love doing sceneries too.
It just looks so amazing. So,
Well, this is wonderful, and I thank you for your time.
Excellent, no problem.
It's great, and just keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you.
This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay.
Mega Train Show in Winnipeg. We haven't had one for a year before COVID.
Yeah.
But you're an old-time attendee, right?
Yes, I've been here since the beginning, even elsewhere on Talbot when they had it. Your Mennonite Brethren, yeah.
And so obviously you've been doing this for a long time. I see you've got full scale here.
Yeah.
Is that your only scale?
Well, yeah, the O and then the 027, which is just a shade smaller. I got a bit of HO. I used to have tons of HO, tons of it. And then I had people coming down the basement. I was selling stuff so cheap they were freaking out. One woman, she's looking at the brown CP cars, and he's the boyfriend. Oh, I don't really want them. Oh my God, they're so cheap. I'm buying them all. There was 12 of them. Yeah. And then I kept that and got into N, where I bought some marks off a guy, and then he had N scaled. The wife bought it. She bought a nice set off him, So I was selling the HO. Somebody came down, gave her an offer on the N scale. So she says, "Oh, okay, I'll let it go." Oh, beautiful CP stuff. I thought, "Oh, but it's hers." So it's in there now, and I have my N scale I started picking up in case I ever get into an apartment, something like that. It's like the future, when you're downsized. Ah, right. Yeah.
Collected as a kid in HO and my N scale. And then, of course, we're out at CMR layout in Stony Mountain, which is HOs.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'd like to go G, but I don't have the room. It's beautiful.
My brother is an inch and a half up to a foot scale.
Oh, really? Oh.
7.5 inch gauge.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But it's nice to see old timers.
Yeah. Like I say, I still got the one as a kid, so,
I wish you all the best in your endeavors here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
I appreciate it.
I guess your wife is involved in the hobby with you, right?
Well, she just helps me out, which is great. But she got me onto the Hallmark little trains, and I've got everyone since then.
Okay.
She don't say anything because she started it.
Well, thank you very much, Tom.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, definitely. I got to see your guys' stuff and that. Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you.